Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nova War coming to you from the fine locale of Canuckville, Canada. And we are continuing the Nova War solo cast marathon here in Mr. Black's absentia. For fancy words, always use the thesaurus. Thesaurus. It's where you can get all your $5 words. This is the Platinum game again, and down here in the bottom position of Cloud Kingdom, we are looking at Grampaflower. He's the blue Protoss, and up top we're looking at the red Protoss, ElPenguino. I'm going to call him Penguin, because that's easier. Of course, Penguin is also, I think, one of the names of the guys that we casted, who is part of the Dalhousie team. So that's going to be a bit confusing, but for the sake of easy names, I'm going to call Grampaflower Grandpa, and ElPenguino or ElPenguino Penguin. And so it's going to be Grandpa versus Penguin. Tell me. You can't. You can't. You can't. I'm not going to say that. You can't tell me. You can't. That you've never wanted to see a grandfather fight a penguin. I'm sorry. Nobody can convince me that if you had the opportunity to witness an old man fight a giant penguin, that you wouldn't immediately take it and probably pay money to witness it. I refuse to believe that there are people like that in this world, and if they do exist, they are terrible people. Terrible, terrible people. As of right now, it actually looks like in Starcraft land, both gentlemen are looking awful 4-gatey. Surprise, it's a PvP. It seems like, in terms of actual speed, that Penguin is slightly ahead, at least in terms of that cybernetics core going down. It's somebody in chat saying, who said anything about a giant penguin? This guy. If you're gonna fight a penguin, it better be huge. Otherwise, that's just cruel. Nobody wants to see that happen. At least make it fair. That's all I'm asking for, is just equality in size if you're going to duel a penguin to the death with ninja swords. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. If it takes place on an ice drift in the middle of the north, you know, maybe there's a meteor shower happening at the same time. High winds, slow motion cameras. Grandpa has a cane that's also a gun. But that's okay because the penguin can throw ice at speeds of a pistol. That's all I ask for. That's all. I don't think that's too much to ask. I also think it's not too much to ask for Penguin to find this, and he does. He does indeed, and he won't be able to capitalize on that proxy pylon, and he will unfortunately be a little close to Supply Block Town when this goes down. Penguin's going to get rid of that real quick. Another gateway going down, and it actually looks like we're going not 4-gate. I was so into imagining my epic Grandpa versus Penguin, I didn't see the second assimilator going down, and so we're actually going to be getting an Immortal out on the field, and this is just to basically combat what would have been a 4-gate here, but it does not seem to be the case. It's going to be a 3-gate robo on both sides. Grandpa either doing something very similar or switch there towards the end based on the warp gate time that's in. This robo is late. And so I have a feeling that is indeed what happened once that pylon failed. So he's just got a couple of stalkers and his sentry out on the field right now. Whereas we look at Penguin, he is a little more on target for his. He's already got his Immortal, his 2 gates are up, the warp gate tech is finished, the 3rd gate is on its way. It's a bit late, but that's okay. We have an Immortal out on the field, of course, with the sentries, 2 of them in fact, and so he's doing quite well as of right now. Penguin going to possibly check for more proxy pylons, which is what he seems to be doing right now. If we go back down here, it looks like Grandpa is setting up to possibly even take an expansion. I don't know if he plans on doing that immediately. He is sending a stalker out of all things here to watch the tower. I feel like that's a high-cost unit to be sending out there. A zealot would be a little more efficient. The probe is going to go down here and try and see what's happening. Of course, going right past the stalker. Stalker would have seen it, and the probe gets picked off. Right there. Mark it. Somebody get across. Set it up. It's one of those roadside things. Today, on this hour of this year, the brave scout probe died. A horrible, horrible, painful death. But hey, look! It's okay. The observer's here to do his job anyway. And so it's going to be able to get all the information that it needs. Going to go up in here and, in fact, see that the robo is out. If it sticks around here long enough, it will see that it is, in fact, an immortal on the way. And it looks like Penguin's actually going to be pushing up here. We have a stalker down out front that's getting a little ahead of itself. Want to be careful here. The other stalker retreats, and Grampaflower is going to come out here. And needs to be very careful because, indeed, Penguin is a bit outmatched here if he's not all here at the same time. The stalkers need to be, not the stalkers, the zealots need to be out front. But that immortal is huge right now. Although we do have the immortal as well out here for Grandpa, and look at this, very nice. Penguin is immediately going to get rid of these rocks. He does not want to get himself in a situation where he is trapped on a thin ramp and get concave or ramp destroyed, and a pylon going down as well. So he's feeling very aggressive right now. Also supply block, so that Penguin's Penguin's current, oh dear, that current pylon going down is going to be the only thing that saves him. And look at this, force fields all around. Not enough for a fourth force field to finish those off. But the last zealot, oh, it is going to go down, in fact. And look at this, 2 immortals now. But look at this, very nice force fields indeed. And he is splitting up the units enough that while keeping his immortals alive is giving him a huge advantage. And he's going to be able to send Penguin back home. I am very impressed right now with Grandpa. I was not expecting to see that happen. After the tech switch that he made going against a pure, what seemed to be anyway, a pure 3-gate robo. But look at this, back home right now, Penguin is on the way to Giraffe Central. He is about to bring out all of those giraffes. He might want to be careful where that giraffe goes, though. Don't. Okay, it is Pingo moving, thankfully. I do not want to see it end up down here and die. That would have been a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to have happen. We only have a couple of stalkers with this Colossus now. And back home, it looks like Grandpa is just getting very comfortable. Both gentlemen now sitting on 2 base. Both at roughly the same saturation level. Neither of them collecting gas yet. Although Grandpa is preparing as of right now. Penguin back home not opting to do so as of yet. Thermal Lance is on the way. And Grandpa is going to see this. So at this point, Grandpa has to either attack quickly, get rid of the Colossi count before it becomes too much, or match and or beat the Colossi count to really be victorious here, unless he has some serious tricky stuff up his sleeve to try and save the day here from these Colossi. Now, with that Warp Prism on its way over, I feel like we are going to see a little bit of harassment here. If we track this, I bet you it's going up behind the natural expansion there of Penguin, and it is indeed sitting here just to probably send in a couple of zealots, and that's going to be killed pretty quickly. The majority of the force here, if not all of the force of Penguin, is sitting very close by, and so he's going to have to be pretty careful and do his dirty work quickly as possible and get out of there. Grandpa now sending that stalker out to see if there's anything suspicious going on. He is actually going to see this probe, which is en route to do something. He was going to try and get up into the base. Unfortunately, he will be unable to do so. That stalker will take it out, and I'm surprised that this pylon has not gone down yet. This